What's going on, guys? Ben here, Enos Tech, and today we're taking a look at the first player steampunk MK7 mechanical gaming keyboard. Now I know a lot of you are going to be thinking this doesn't look very steampunkish, and no it doesn't, so I'm not quite sure where the name came from, so for the rest of the review we'll just call it the MK7. Now this does come in a few different variants. It comes in either cherry switches, which you can get blue or black, and you can also get this in a kale white switch. Today we'll be taking a look at the version of the kale white switch, and so far we've used it for a couple weeks now, and it's not a bad keyboard given the price. This currently comes in at just under $40 in the American market, and it can be found on Amazon and a number of other retailers. Now, as you'll see, looking at the keyboard, it doesn't look like anything too special, but it is very sturdy built. It has a detachable wrist rest, and it has red backlighting. It is a 104 key standard keyboard that features anti-ghosting and full N key rollover. Now, as far as the LEDs go in the backlighting, there are a few different modes that can be controlled right from the keyboard, so there is no need to install any software to get this keyboard up and running as soon as you get it. Now, for those of you that are in the know and know about mechanical keyboards, and maybe those of you that don't, when it comes to the different switch types, a lot of this comes down to personal preference. Now, I could sit here all day and tell you how good my typing experience and my gaming experience was on the kale white switches, and it was thoroughly enjoyable. But those switches may not be for you, and I don't want that to leave a bad taste in your mouth about the keyboard as a whole, because as mentioned, you can get it in Cherry MX switch variants as well. It's one of those things that you will need to check on, you will need to try, and you'll need to figure out for yourself really what switches you want. Now, there are a number of function and media keys going across the top. As always, if you hold the FN key down and hit one of the F1 through F12 keys, you will be able to use its secondary feature. Now, this is going to make things like launching your email, changing volume and stuff very quick and easy without the need to go and to have to change it on the computer. If you're in game or something, you can just hit FN and hit the volume keys, turn it up, turn it down, get where you need to go so you can continue gaming without having to minimize your game and go to the desktop. Now, the wrist rest, in my opinion, isn't the best. It's quite flat, though it does work, and I've had a hard time getting it to stay in place. It's supposed to be magnetic and click into place, which it does, but as soon as you move the keyboard, it kind of falls out. You can't really move it around too much. Once it's in place, it's not bad, but if you try to move the keyboard either left and right, like as for me, I work on a very small desk, so when I'm typing, I like my keyboard central, right in front of me, so I can get the best typing experience possible. However, when I'm gaming, I like to push my keyboard over to the left so it opens up a bit more mouse area for me to move my mouse around on the right hand side, and when doing this I'd have to readjust the wrist rest. It wouldn't really stay in place, and it didn't feel, it's not cheap, it doesn't feel cheap, it just doesn't stay in place as well as I would have hoped for, especially considering that it's supposed to be magnetic. Aside from that, as mentioned, I've spent a good few weeks using this keyboard, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, as I said. The typing experience was quite nice. The keys are not too loud. So even when you're typing in a room, if there are other people in it, you won't annoy them too much. And I didn't notice any input lag or anything from this keyboard in gaming. As far as I can tell, it was up to scratch with all the other keyboards that I use. As mentioned, there are a few different LED features, which we'll take a look at now. We've got one, it kind of does like a wave here, as you can see, hopefully. We've got two, which is a breathing feature, and to simply change these, as you see, I'm hitting the function key, and I'm hitting one of these keys in this area. We've got the third function that when you can see it, it kind of breaks out from where you type. Function 4 is a different type of wave. Number 5 is what a lot of people would call gaming mode, where the W, A, S, and D keys and the number keys light up, so that's all you see when you're gaming. And function 6 is the one where as you type, the key lights up for a second behind your typing. Overall, this keyboard is half decent. I was pleased with it, and especially for the price, I'm going to go ahead and give this the ENISTech Recommended Award. Now, I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and please check back in the future for more content.